You ever wonder why two people can go through the exact same situation? One crumbles. The other rises? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's wiring. Brain wiring. That invisible blueprint that determines how you react, respond, and rise. Because here's the paradox. You've been programmed, but the code isn't yours. It was installed, without your permission, by parents, teachers, media, trauma, failure. By a world that trained you to survive, not succeed. Let's call it what it is. Mental conditioning. Your brain isn't broken. It's conditioned to protect you, not propel you. You learn to fear risk, to settle, to believe that success was for them, not you. But here's the mind bender. The brain that once protected you can now sabotage your future. Think about it. Why do you hesitate before taking a bold step? Why do you sabotage your own momentum? Why does your comfort zone feel like a cage, but you stay inside anyway? Because your neural pathways, those highways of habit, were paved for safety, not greatness. But what if you could rebuild those roads? What if you could rewire your brain, not to fear the unknown, but to crave it? Neuroscience has a name for this. Neuroplasticity. It means your brain can change, adapt, transform. At any age, at any stage. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are an architect of your future. But here's the kicker. You have to choose it. Daily. Intentionally. So here's the first step. Repetition. Not motivation. Repetition is the mother of rewiring. What you think, consistently. What you say, habitually. What you feel, repeatedly. That's what your brain turns into your reality. I am capable. I am relentless. I am rewriting my story. Say it until your neurons believe it. Act on it until your fear starts to shrink. Hebb's law says it best. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you choose courage over comfort. Every time you choose action over overthinking. Every time you choose belief over doubt. You're rewiring your brain for success. This is how legends are made. Not in sudden moments of greatness, but in the microscopic decisions that reshape the mind every single day. And guess what? We're just getting started. You've felt it before. That pull towards something greater, and the weight holding you back. It's not just fear. It's not just doubt. It's identity. Your brain isn't fighting your dreams. It's protecting the story you've told yourself for years. See, identity is sticky. It clings, even when it no longer serves you. You say, I'm just not disciplined. I've always been this way. This is just who I am. Number, that's who you've been taught to be. That's the mask the world handed you. But here's the raw truth. You cannot outgrow the life you live if you stay loyal to the identity that created it. Ask yourself, who would I be without that old story? What if lazy, insecure, average was just a costume you wore too long? Because every thought you repeat, every belief you defend, is building the architecture of your future. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. And here's the sneaky part. You're not just battling thoughts. You're battling feelings attached to those thoughts. Every time you tried and failed, every time you were told you're not enough, those emotions didn't just fade. They fossilized in your brain, in your body, like anchors, dragging you back every time you try to soar. But emotions aren't truth. They're signals, not sentences. You feel them, but you don't have to obey them. You can feel fear, and act anyway. You can feel doubt and speak anyway. You can feel unworthy and rise anyway. So how do you break the old wiring? First, interrupt the pattern. Catch the old thought in real time. Say it out loud. That's not my story anymore. Second, replace it. Create a new thought that serves your vision, not a fluffy affirmation, a command. I take bold action daily. I show up powerfully. I'm becoming unstoppable. And last, repeat. Morning, midday, night. Repetition until your brain has no choice but to adapt. Because the old version of you, it's fading every time you choose differently. And the new you, the one you actually are underneath all that noise, they're waiting, right behind the next action you take. You've heard the saying, success is a mindset. Sounds cliche, right? But let me ask you this. If your default wiring was already programmed for success, would you hesitate? Would you procrastinate? Would you self-sabotage? You'd execute. You'd move. Because the real game isn't about working harder. It's about becoming the person who naturally takes action. The people who win at life don't just chase success. They expect it. Not because they're lucky, not because they're smarter, but because they've trained their brain to make success their baseline. That's the secret. Your self-image is your thermostat. Set it low, you'll sabotage wins that feel too big for you. Set it high, you'll fight to rise, even when things get tough. Your brain will always pull you back to what feels normal. So if struggle feels normal, if failure feels normal, that's where you'll return. But the moment winning becomes your default, that's when the game changes. Every high performer, every self-made success, every legend, they have something in common, an internal GPS. They don't drift. They don't wait for motivation. They program their mind to lock onto a destination and adjust until they get there. How? 1. Clear vision. Your brain needs precision, not vague dreams. Instead of, I want success, say, I dominate my field by specific date. 2. Identity shift. Stop chasing goals. Become the person who achieves them. Not, I want to be fit, I am an athlete. Not, I want to be successful, I am a high performer. 3. Ruthless execution. Every day, every moment. Ask yourself, is this action aligning me with the person I'm becoming? Because here's the final truth. You don't have time to wait. Most people live life like it's a rehearsal. Waiting, hesitating, acting like they have another chance. But your time is now. The person you want to be? They don't exist in the future. They exist in the next decision you make. So dash. Who are you going to be? Decide. Now.